yeah, I couldn't imagine living anywhere else. I left once when I left for a couple of times, and I always came back, within like way sooner than I planned on. It's just, it's an important place in my life to be happy. I feel like this is where I gotta be. And I'm lucky now, my family, my kids and my wife. My wife is from here too. She's a native Hawaiian. And my kids obviously are too. And, now it's just about how to make sure that nobody ever has to leave, because it's too expensive or, whatever. So that's my job now, is to make sure that they can be here forever. And that's my goal. So yeah, this is Waianae on the west coast of Oahu, and it's a very well-known town for its ruggedness. I live in Makaha. I'm from Kailua, but I bought a house out here 9 years ago in Makaha, and I had put in about 12 years with my mentor, and I was ready to do my own thing. And this building right here was always the sickest one. I felt it's like right in the middle of Waianae, and there was already a tattoo shop over there. My friend Palani owned where the fishing supply is, and he was cracking. Every morning I would drive to work when I first moved out here. There was people in there getting tattooed at 10 o'clock, and I'd come home at 9:30 or 10, and there was still people in there. And one night I was driving home, and I looked up, and his sign was down. And I turned around, flipped the bitch over here, and I came back in, and I was looking, and then I looked up over here, and there was a for rent sign right here. And I was thinking, oh wow, kind of like this side better, So I was thinking, oh, that's fuck, man, I gotta make my move. I called Palani, and Palani told me, yeah, he gave me kind of his blessing to, open a tattoo shop in Waianae, and so I did it. Best thing I ever did. And that same day, I called my boss and told him, the situation, and we've been friends for fucking over 25 years, you know what I mean? It wasn't like that. He knew the day was coming, and he was really excited that I was doing it as far away from anybody that you could possibly be, and especially him, And that's the other thing, out here, I'm the last tattoo shop. I'm the end of the road. You can't find another tattoo shop past me, and I'd like to keep it that way for as long as I can. And that's the real deal. Yeah, boys. And that's what means the most to us, I think. Everybody that works here is from Hawaii. Everybody, lives in this community together. All our kids hang out, and we all, we get to see the community wearing our stuff a lot. It's awesome. I painted this last year. It's my boy Danny right here. He works at Waianae store. We smoke pot together. Don't tell nobody. I painted this a little while ago. I'm actually redoing the whole front. Yeah. Come on in. Oh, check this out. This is a bullet hole. This place used to be a game room. That's what we call like illegal gambling rooms in Hawaii, is game rooms. So lots of action at those things. Yeah, we got fucking dry taco. This is what we eat in Hawaii. It's what makes our tattoos so bright and powerful.
And slimy.
This is me. I was 16 years old. We cut school and took some LSD and skated that pool for a good long time. We had a lot of fun that day. Bert Grimm, Cap Coleman, Chad and Wrath. It's one of my favorite paintings. Coplinger and Gordon MacLeod. Big fans. My wife, every year she makes, on our anniversary for the shop, she makes a tea leaf lei. So there's 5 of them in here. She just made this really long one. This was our 5-year. I always like that. They help, keep out bad juju, or mana, as we say.
Yeah, I did a whole year. Every morning I did one of these. So I have 365 of them. I'm just trying to paint them all now. Like those are all my morning drawing stuff.
Watch this guy, he's in a wheelie right now. Guarantee you, watch. Pop it up. Tell you. Just the classics, really. I just kind of look at old Flash and, I don't know, mix it up and kind of just imagine, like, oh, if my brain thought of that, like, how would I draw it, or like, oh, I bet those would look cool together, or like, well, maybe I'll try and, I love cartoons. I always have loved cartoons, And Hawaii, too, is a big inspiration. All my girls are pretty much always hula girls. Paint a lot. Working on this little redraws there. So it fit that spot right there. I didn't want to cut. I didn't want to waste paper. I got all these small cuts. I figure you wouldn't be able to tell when you're looking at it, right? It's like a piece of paper. I think I was always into tattooing, to be honest. I always was getting tattooed. As soon as I could, I was getting tattooed with any kind of extra money I had. Then a couple friends of mine actually were kind of like, my friend Adam Roth and my friend Brian Barker were like, dude, you should just tattoo. You're horrible at getting up and going to fucking work as a construction worker. Fucking can barely make it. Party all the time. And they said, you're always at the tattoo shop. You should just learn how to tattoo. You could go to work every day at fucking noon. I kind of thought, that sounds pretty cool. And then I never really thought I could do it. I don't know. And then I met my friend married this girl from California. Her name was Madonna, and we became good friends. We all lived together in this place called the Duplex of Doom in Kaneohe. And she started apprenticing with Wando and Big Island Mike, South Pacific Tattoo in Waikiki, Saratoga. And then, I started trying to learn how with them. And
I was partying really hard. We drank a lot. There's a bar right behind the shop. And then I got to drive across the Pali Highway back to Kailua, and it was just getting kind of gnarly. So I went and saw my homeboy Tim Goodrich, that I was good friends with from skateboarding. And he owns some tattoo shops in Kailua, which is, you know, where I'm from and where I was living at the time. And he took me in, and that's really kind of where I got serious about it. I was in Kailua with him and Eddie Diaz and Uncle Larry Hanks, and then I ended up going to Waianae and tattooing right next to the army base for years and years and years, and that's really where I got my chops on, because it was non-stop. Yeah, I worked out there for a long time, till 2018. I had my first child, my son, Ko'iahi, and my wife Malu and myself are just kind of really wanted to be parents, you know. In 2020 we had my daughter, Waianae, and then the next year right after that we had my baby boy Lopaka, and we've been cruising ever since. I'm really stoked on it. I have like everything I ever wanted. I just want to keep it going. Keep Sundance alive, and now I got Nolan and Devin, and they're the best fucking workers you could ever have. Gordon McLeod comes and works, and things are good. Fuck. There you go. It's your home. Nice. Who's that, Iggy man? Huh? Who is that, Iggy boy? I love you, buddy. This is Iggy. That's Ophi. Here's my guard dogs. He's not really doing it right now, huh? This is my bonsai collection I got going on. What we got here? This one will grow, will grow fruit in like 6 years. You take care of it. These things really bring me a lot of joy and peace of mind. And I got some more over here. This one is my favorite, and this thing was out like this, and I think a bird came and landed on it and it broke it. So I'll have to trim that today. But this thing was shooting out over here.
Don't do it.
Huh?
You need to let you.
So this is the fort I made last night. We love forts. We have a fort all the time. These are boards I used to ride when I wasn't scared of big waves. Now things have changed and I've gotten the fear. This is where all the magic happens here. You know what I'm saying? And it's Cody's skulls. He makes the coolest skulls, man. I really love it.
And the other one.
Yeah. That's him mean mugging when he was little. Tease. Come on. Yeah, make shishi. Go make shishi in the grass. Huh?
He's looking at me. You're not photographing me. Whoa, photographing me.
I used to play a lot of guitar too. I was in a punk rock band for a long time, and just kind of I love music so much. Since we've had them, and I kind of tattoo has been so. Even before I had them, you know, music, like playing music has kind of tapered off a little bit, but I'd like to get back into that, playing guitar more. And there you go. Get it lined up. Go down the curve even. Yeah. They're learning. We're taking it slow. Right, Teets, that's how. Teets a geets. Nice one, bro. Oh, nice one, little sister. Good job. Turn around. Let's start with the first one.
Oh, yeah.
This is the first tattoo that I ever did on her. She came with her friend. I was late. Luckily they stayed, or else all this wouldn't have happened. Did this one. We just did this. Little horse. What's his name?
Buster.
Buster. Turn around, babe. I did this. Chuco Moreno design. I did this. Our old dog Kingpin. I did this. Percy Waters design. I did this. That's our daughter. That's our son. We gotta add one more. It just really makes me happy, and I don't think I've ever been this fucking happy in my whole life, you know. And
I think you did a really good job to like bringing your style of tattooing to the West Side. I think that there's this thing where it's like Polynesian is super popular, you know, amongst like the Hawaiian families and stuff, and I just know from personal experience and like my family getting tattooed from you that like you really kind of open people's eyes to like a different style of tattooing that could be cool too, you know.
Right. They might like, you know.
Yeah.
And we make sure we do it all at Sundance, you know, because that's really what it's all about. It's a service industry. Don't forget that shit. You know what I mean? Like, this business is supposed to make people happy for them. So yeah, you know, when it all comes down to it, having customers that have open minds is great. But just remember, if they don't want it, do it their way. Hey! Take it easy. Really, I think the first time my first memory of riding dirt bike was with my super good friend Kyle Gray back in, I don't know, like 89 or something like that. I think I was about 10 years old, and he had a little 80, and we used to rip that thing up and down this little grassy area by the park that we lived at, close to each other. And it just really is turned into such an addiction. I loved it, and especially when I quit drinking and doing drugs, I really started getting back into like everything, you know, surfing and riding. It fixed me 100%, and tattoo, you know. And it changed, it got me through all those weird in your head times, you know, and you're trying to come off of a lifestyle that you lived like that, you know, for so long. And now I get to do that stuff with him. He's really killing it now. We went yesterday and he was ripping at Kahuku. And her too, she's been getting on the mini up there. And she'll be right behind him. And my littlest one, oh boy, he's gonna be crazy. So watch out for that. That's gonna be something fun. But yeah, this is, you know, it's my freedom. I go right there. I cut a trail all back in these mountains over here, and all over here. It's just nice to be able to just get on and just release some stress and wrap it around and come back way more recharged. This is the log. I smoked my first joint with my dad. Right there. I love that guy. You know, it only took 40 years and he came around. And we sat right here and we had a great conversation about being dads and being men and our love for one another, and it was a special time for me. It's cool. I love this spot. This is like, it's right behind the house, but it feels like you're miles and miles and miles away from anything. You know, because I ride dirt bike, I just started seeing all the potential, and I said, well, I'm just gonna start riding my dirt bike back here. Hopefully, you know, nobody gets too mad. You know, every time I ride, I find trash. Every time I bring a bag and I bring trash out of the mountain, which I think we should do. Every time you go to the beach, every time you go connect with, you know, the ocean or the land, you should fucking clean it up a little bit. You see something on the ground, pick it up. Especially if you ain't a fucking native Hawaiian, you know. You should be working double hard to preserve the beauty and the richness of the culture and this place. My mom and my dad are good people, you know. They raised us to respect the ocean and to respect the land and the people that are indigenous to it, you know. I've been here my whole life. My mom and dad moved here in the 70s, early 70s. My dad was a Marine. My mom was a school teacher, public schools teacher. And my sister and I are lucky enough to be from here, you know. I'm just so thankful to be alive today and have this amazing family and my shop and tattooing. All my friends that I grew up with in Kailua and all my friends that I'm kind of like growing up again with in Makaha and Waianae. It's unbelievable. You know, my friend Andy, he died, and I played a pretty integral part in his death, and that fucked me up. And we were doing bad drugs, and shit went south, and I was able to be saved, and he wasn't. And when that happened, everything changed, and it was like I was reborn. I'll be honest, one of the most important parts of me being able to stop doing the drugs and the alcohol was, you know, my friends played an integral part in that because of who our friend Andy was to everybody. It was like, and the fact that I had something, you know, I was connected to that, you know, his death, they made me fucking be responsible for that. They didn't do it in a harsh way, the most loving, tenderest way you could ever have it, but they weren't gonna fucking, basically I felt like, you know, my friendship with everybody was gonna be pretty much over if I didn't shape the fuck up, you know, and I could lose, I already lost Andy, but I could potentially lose like the love, the deep love and respect that I had from these guys and girls that I grew up with, you know, that loved our friend Andy, and like that fucking really helped me, like see the way, I guess you can say, you know. Bruh, you get a second chance, dude. It's a miracle. It's a magic. It's like, you really gotta try, you know. It's not gonna be perfect, but bruh, if you just, whatever you were doing that messed you up, you can't do that anymore. You gotta try to live pono. Anyway.
I don't really know what else to show you.